Motoring magazines, it's such a problem which one to choose. There's just so many nowadays. Max Power, Motorsport, Top Gear magazine. Hang on a second, what's this one? Ignition, turning on to women motorists. Now that's a new one on me, I must find out more. Hang on a sec, I've got an idea. Quick phone call. Hi, is that Claire Bowen? Hi, I think I'm in the area. I'd like to talk about the magazine. 5 minutes? Perfect.
Hello, Claire.
Hi, Claire. Thanks for coming so quickly. Can we have a chat about your magazine?
Yeah, get in out of the rain. It's horrible out there.
Claire, tell me about Ignition. What makes it so special as a magazine?
Ignition is special because it's written by women journalists with women in mind. Women tend to feel that if a man's writing for them, he is patronising. Whereas if it's a woman doing it, they know that the woman has suffered the same things, that is looking for the same things, and therefore it seems okay.
Why should I go out and buy Ignition over one of the other motoring magazines, say Autocar, Auto Express, What Car, something like that?
Because the other magazines are mainly designed for men who are enthusiasts. It's always been assumed that men are the motoring enthusiasts and women don't actually like cars very much. With 50% of all car drivers, or around about 50% being women, I think ideas are changing, and there are some women who are passionate about cars. There are others that just want to get from A to B.
So how much detail do you go into? Is it you're telling people the bore and stroke and the brake horsepower capacity of engines, or?
Well, there is a bit of that. Obviously, those sort of things are mentioned. It's not for the person who's been tinkering under the bonnet since they were 17 years old. It's for people who are driving, and 50% of women drive cars, own cars, buy cars, that they're involved in motoring in one way or another. But they're not necessarily enthusiasts. There's some that, of course, that are. But they want general motoring information. They want to know which is the safest car, which is the cheapest car, which is, all sorts of information. How does 4x4 work? Should they have a car with satellite navigation? Is it really worth the extra money? Should they have child seats fitted? What sort of child seats should they have? All sorts of practical information that women look for, because they do the chauffeuring. They chauffeur the children around, they can chauffeur Granny around, so they want to know if there's good access to the rear, all sorts of things like that.
Claire, what sort of reaction are you getting from the readers of Ignition?
We get readers' letters asking us for advice. If they want to buy a car, they've got so much budget, what do they do, where do they go? But I think the best one of all came from a reader who contacted us to say that her husband had disappeared into the loo with a magazine. She assumed that it had come from the top shelf somewhere. But when he emerged, he got clutching a copy of Ignition. And she said, well, why have you got that? And he said, well, it was a woman's magazine. I didn't want you to see me reading it. And she said, well, why did you want to read a woman's magazine on motoring? And he said, well, it's really good. It demystifies motoring.
Now, Claire, the eternal question, who's a better driver, a man or a woman?
I would say women, obviously, because women are more, actually they are in lots of ways, because they're patient. But I think there are plenty of really bad women drivers and really bad men drivers, and there are equally good female and male drivers. So I don't think you can say that one is better than the other.
Well, what a superb magazine. I'm going to pop off and fill out my subscription form, but in the meantime, thanks very much for talking to me, Claire.
Thank you, Claire.